All right, everyone, welcome to another episode here where we discuss some Bitcoin crypto price action. You can see we're already on screen share. Hope you all are doing great, and I think you should be able to hear the music in the background without being too bad, too loud, I should say. Okay, so pretty soon here, let's get started. All right, so we had a lot of resistance in the book. We grinded through a lot of that. We had some really nice consistent support, and I'm talking over. Let's actually broaden this out. So looking at like a 5 minute, even as we tried to grind down back into the mid 60s, and kind of had a capitulation at the end of that run there, we still had some very consistent support in the order book. We've popped back out. Of course, there's always going to be sellers chasing the book. I think what we're going to do is establish some sort of channel. So we'd have probably a horizontal area wherever this left off. Sorry, let me get rid of this for a sec. And then you have 74,000 or so high channel. And hopefully, this is kind of rough. We were talking about, 75 or whatever to 65 kind of thing and being okay with it. I'm okay with it. I'm glad that we only just, vertically fell into the 65,000 where we pretty much consolidated majority as that sell, whatever loose change was left in the pockets of sellers as they were dumping their tokens, their Bitcoins, really didn't affect price too much. I mean, this was very gradual, especially after all the stuff that's been happening lately. A lot of really choppy up and down action. Immediate retrace, within a few hours probably. This is, again, 5 minute candles. So this cluster time probably represents a couple hours, a few hours. So a good Bart Simpson retrace on that bottom range. We just completely rejected it. Very strong bullish psychology there. Now, okay, discussing the overhead resistance, we have it's going to be common for us to engage in stuff like this if we are in fact bullish. And that's kind of the argument that I'm still trying to make. I'm still bullish, right? And an example of that is, the things that I think we'll need to do on the way to continuously develop that case is break through resistance zones like this that have been there for a little bit of time, because obviously we've been at in the 60,000 range for quite a while. So now we have to kick these set and forget type positions out of their seats, and that needs dollars. That we need dollars to do that. It seems like we're starting to get a lot more of those jumps, where we push into sell side dominant ranges, break through those ranges with dollars, and or shifts in the order book, which are could be some sort of wash trading, market manipulation, of course, as well. Just drinking some water, and then yeah. So these moves to the downside, to really dangerous territory have been defended. 65K as a floor is really solid. I like it. I'd rather we stay above it. So there's a lot of consolidation in the 67K range as well. And I think that would be a nice low end for the channel. This channel that I could see us walking into seems like we're kind of near a median range with these two peaks at around 69,000. So it seems like 70K might be that line. It's a pretty significant line. As we well know, anything with a lot of zeros probably has a lot of set and forget positions, a lot of stop losses, a lot of orders, maybe breakout traders planning to bypass the breakout. So 70K is probably going to be a decent battleground territory for a while. I could see that happening. The best case scenario would have been that we got above 70K and then held the line at 70. But now it looks like that's probably going to be a contested range. I think we're building the channel. Let's assume that the low end is going to be 66,000 or 66 to 67,000 is the low end of that channel. The high end, if not higher, is 74,000. So I guess if we were just to draw this out, yeah, bam, we got something like this, because I don't think we'll have to defend too heavily. So our mid channel line is, right around here. So yeah, we're not even there while getting that resistance at 70,000 flat, 69,000 just above. So I think that 70K, I mean, it's going to be a fun battleground area if this is the channel range that we're creating. Um, it's a big round number, so I could see a lot of people betting on that to hold, and it doesn't, stuff like that. So I've been expecting us to come out of the hole a little bit, find a channel. I still think we're a little dangerously close to 60,000, versus something like what happened in March 2020 when we had the COVID crash. We went down from 10,000, I think, in February down to something like 7,500 March 10th or something like that. And then it crashed even further in a single candle, basically down to 3,500 or so before the exchanges flipped off their liquidation bots and all that, because the market was just going haywire. And we recovered from that low. Let's kind of compare the lows. This crash from 120 down to 60, it is very familiar. And last time what happened was we bought our way out, pretty quickly to the 4,000s. The percentages there that we're talking are much larger. We kind of quickly bought our way out of the 60,000 range. We did come back to 62 a couple times. A similar thing happened back then. We came back down to some areas, like from 30,500, we came up and, bounced back at 4,000 or 44 or something. But we had some like ups and downs. Generally, let's say an ascending channel was going on though, and that got us out of the hole real nice. Right back to the 6,000, 7,000s. A lot of people were really upset by that. A lot of people probably made a ton of money too. It was fantastic. Fantastic for them, of course. Let me make this thing like a 1 hour. Let's see what we are in. So yeah, crash. And yeah, we really spent a couple times testing those waters, seeing if we're gonna break down any further. We're starting to climb our way back out. This kind of reminds me of that, first big move. We crashed. We spent a little too much time down here though. I think this market again has gotten longer. The historic 4-year cycles are probably off the table, how they used to be. So I expect everything to swing a bit longer. The recovery on this has been really, really difficult. We've been really trudging along here, almost just in pure defense mode. You can see just holding the line. Now we're starting to show some strength and hopefully buy our way out. I think that still could take time. The thing is, I'd rather us be channeling up somewhere where these lows look like very convincing lows. This is starting to build that argument, but the more lows we get, the more higher lows we get. Here maybe a couple along a horizontal channel, and then raise to the next level. Maybe take 3 steps forward, 1 step back, and then keep playing that game. That'll really rebuild some market structure and kind of lead me to believe that we're more in something like 6 to 8 year cycles before things go parabolic. And that could be in just the total flip on its head. So yeah, that's kind of the long-term plan of how I want this market to get bullish and be bullish. I still think we can get there. I think we did need a little bit of support. We constructed a ladder without the rungs as we built a lot of this bull market, and we obviously, when you construct a ladder without rungs, you can climb maybe a little faster, but when you do fall, you are likely to crash through the rungs and crash with the increased velocity. So that's a scenario that I believe can play into why we fell so far. We didn't have much price discovery in these areas. We can quickly see that, and I know we're doing a pretty comprehensive look, guys. So if you want to change the subject, just say something in the comments. But you could see that we had some price discovery in this range, and then we basically went vertical, came down to check it. Didn't really do much for this, high 80, low 90K that range, and then we blew up again. Really didn't spend much time in here. Fortunately, there is a bit of price discovery up there. Unfortunately, at 120, it's largely resistance. Excuse me, I just scratched my eye there. And so point is, we are rebuilding or reconsolidating at a pretty solid historical consolidation zone. Resistance, you know, consolidation, some slight new all-time highs, tons and tons of consolidation here, you know, chop, but a lot of price memory here. And clearly, Bitcoin was deemed more valuable than that, and that's what brought us up to these higher levels. But we didn't spend much time, you know, going sideways, and we didn't need to, because historically, Bitcoin would just go on tears, and that's fine. That was life. But yeah, now I think things are changed. Things are changed big time. Hey, Kos, I'm not in any active positions right now, buddy. Oh, yeah, Kos. Not yet, at least. I should be long, probably. I should be long. I probably should have been long since I said I should be long a long time ago. I'm not gonna jump into the market. I've like just came back, you know, and I wasn't trading for a while, so I'm not really jumping into the fire straight away, you know. More, I think one thing I want to do is build up another trading competition, and then I'll start trading again. That'll kind of get things more exciting. So yeah, hopefully soon, buddy. Are you in any active positions? So yeah, back to the original point though, that now, you know, we kind of regrouped at an area with a lot of consolidation previously, and I think the argument could be made that that's the reason why we crashed so bad. You know, of course the Epstein files or whatever, and of course tariffs and whatever politics and this and that, right? And probably market manipulation. But of course we have a way out of that, and you know, our next area is probably going to be the 80s to build strong support in. We obviously still have our work to do now to really make the 70s like, all right guys, we've been here before, this is it, you know, we're back off to the races. I think we really need to get the sellers to dump all the coins they have left in their pockets. And it seems like we've gotten that, you know, we spent a lot of time with fear in the air, you know, this crash, you know, we had a lot of capitulation. And even with the handful of taps, we've been doing pretty well. Now, this structure is a little bit scary, you know, dump, you know, higher lows, higher highs, Jeffrey Epstein shit, Bitcoin emails, Jeffrey Epstein dump. So that's rough, but I'm hoping we can build even more strength now in consolidation, build more strength in the 70Ks, give a very convincing argument that 70,000 Bitcoin is actually still discounted. And I think that's just going to be done in time. And as we move to these higher levels and create these vertical channel or horizontal channels, I think we'll be able to build something that looks much more like a convincing bull market formation on a long-term chart. I mean, this still isn't like terrible, you know. This still isn't terrible. If you're looking at Bitcoin on a freaking 8-year chart, and we're no longer pretending the 4-year cycles are going to happen, then this is still, I think, a good looking chart. You know, this is still good to me. If we can build and, you know, reconstruct, then I think higher lows. You know, we have a trend line, we have an up, generally ascending kind of trajectory over the years. So I'm thinking we can turn this into a bullish picture still. I still have my short from Thursday, 72.3. Nice, beautiful fucking short, dog. Scalp longs today, nothing big though. That's nice. So, oh, interesting, man. Yeah, well, I hope you join the trading competition when we do it. Well, it'll probably be a lot of scalping, And we like to hang out, you know, some people will like to hang out in Discord. I'll probably hang out in there. We can do video, audio groups, you know, just general chat groups, and just hang out and just, you know, if we're all trading, you know, and not doing much else, we can all just be trading and hanging out. It's a good time. Those trading competitions were some really good times. Anyways, yeah, so that's my outlook. We're starting the week off with a pretty in-depth look. Now you know what I am expecting to happen over time, and let's see how this develops. I think we're going to be hopefully at or above this range, the 68K range by tomorrow. I think by tomorrow evening, I'm thinking we can probably pull back and get back up into this range. So I'm thinking 24 hours from now, this is where we could be, but I'll probably stream early tomorrow. So let's take a look then. All right, everyone. Well, I truly appreciate your time and support to the channel. And if you want to check anything out and stay connected, of course, check the links below the video. You got TRDR, you got Ghost Trace, which we're doing there's some maintenance on that, so I'm not really using it right now. I need to learn some more tools in there, but it is free to check out. There's plenty of tools, and Discord, Telegram, all that. So hope to stay in touch, and thanks for tuning in. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic evening or day wherever you are. All right, yeah, of course, Cos. Liquidity still feels tight. You still under the impression this is wash? Any side of retail? I still think there is. I think there's a ton of wash, but I think there is sign of retail. The fact that we grinded down over here, this gives me a lot of hope, and this is all retail to me. This is all new. This has to be new. This isn't all retail, but a lot of this is definitely new because we were lower than this just weeks ago. So there has to be some organic to this. Otherwise, price would have gone down farther and faster. I think in this grind, the fear sell-off I think would have been initiated earlier, and I think we would have gone down farther. This is a really good safety net, and this screams organic to me. At least some set and forget positions. Are we actively chasing the market as bulls? Not with the intensity I'd hope. But yeah. But I'd love to talk about this more, brother. Cos, love you, dog. And I'll be seeing you soon, okay, brother? So you guys all have a fantastic night, okay? All right. Be seeing you. Peace.